You've got a family as well. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you manage that?
I don't.
Right?
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, people talk about balance and everything else. I don't have any balance. That, throughout the years, has never really gone away.
Nice.
Like, it has always been there. Like, I enjoy washing cars. I enjoy products. I enjoy this. Like, life is tough sometimes, right? You're gonna go through difficult situations, and there's times where you're like, am I doing the right thing? All right, we haven't done a wash and talk in a while, so we have Mike Ott here from Mesa, Arizona, and we're gonna do a wash and talk. Mike, who are you? And why are you here?
Well, I am opening up the Bays Mesa location. We're currently in work on the building right now, trying to get everything put together, but I'm part of the family here now. And just
Brother's got a dog.
proud to be a part of the family, absolutely. My wife and I are just so excited to be on this ride. Very much an enthusiast. Owned a detailing business years ago as a side hustle thing, and it got extremely busy and did extremely well. I just love keeping cars clean. It goes back to just growing up with my dad. He was a car guy, and I just have those memories of working on cars when I was really young and then cleaning cars with him. And so I just always think about that, and I don't know, love it. I love this concept because we're trying to empower owners to come and do it themselves. I remember Saturday mornings, you look down the street and all the dads are out there washing their cars. That doesn't happen anymore,
Right.
Especially in Phoenix when it's so hot. So now that there's a building that
so
they can
hot
come
in
to.
Phoenix.
Yeah, all
This is-
118 last week.
Well, Mesa's now gonna have a spot where you can come inside,
Yes.
get away from the heat,
Yes.
and wash your car.
Yep.
All right, I'm excited to have a conversation with you. We're gonna be using G-Technic products, so we're gonna be washing this out of here. The first thing that I wanna do is kind of work with this ceramic G-Wash, because this is a concept that I love, being able to wash a car and add some hydrophobic properties at the same time. Just makes it so much easier. So let's foam her up. Let's foam the car up, we'll rinse her off, get most of the dirt off, but then we're gonna wash the car with this ceramic G-Wash, and I wanna get your thoughts on it.
Sounds good.
Let's fill up some
Let's do
buckets. Are you from Arizona?
I was originally born in Illinois, Central Illinois.
Oh, you were born here?
Yep, right outside of Springfield, Jacksonville area.
Yeah.
And then I got stationed out in Arizona in '95 at Luke Air Force Base. My sister and brother, my family lived out there before I was born. They moved back to Illinois right before I was born. So for a long time, I was the only one back out there, and everybody was here in Illinois. But now most everybody's out there except for my brother and his family.
Okay.
And yeah, still trying to get used to the heat, even though it's been 30 years.
You said you owned a detailing business
Yes.
previously.
Yes.
Where was that?
That was out in Gilbert area,
Okay.
but we were doing almost exclusively exotics and hot rods. I had a 58 Chevy at the time. My partner had a 65 Mustang. We were into the whole car club scene up in the mountains of Arizona, so we were up there almost every weekend. We were booked out 3-4 months just to working on hot rods for car shows, magazine shoots, stuff like that. Then we got into some of the exotics there in the Phoenix area, doing Viper Club and stuff like that. We did a lot of training sessions, and because it was a side gig, we weren't dependent upon it to live. We were able to go that extra mile. We always had like pamphlets and stuff to hand out to our customers. This is how you take care of it in between. This was when the 2-bucket method was the only way to go way back in the day.
What year was this?
That would have been 2008. 2009,
Okay.
I think. And it just blew up on us really quick. And we were looking at doing, just going full-time doing that. Then had back surgery and a bunch of stuff happened that kind of put a lot of it on hold. So now that I'm involved in this is like a 15-year dream really kind of coming together. Retired from my corporate gig now. So just focused on this and just excited. I love being around cars and
That's awesome.
doing this stuff.
All right, let's start on this side. We're gonna do these wheels. So G-Technic has their iron and fallout remover, which we can use on the wheels to clean that. It's gonna smell great. And then there's citrus all-purpose that we'll use for like the actual rubber and the wheel wells. This is Ken's car, so it could probably use a good cleaning. But most of the time you can use the citrus all-purpose cleaner for cleaning, but we'll use both of them together. You clean the front wheel, I'll clean the back wheel. Mike, I think a lot of people can relate, you know, that have, especially business owners that have started their own business, you know, getting started, prepping, preparing to open up the doors. Like, how are you feeling right now, man?
It does kind of depend on the moment, but for the most part, it's been, I want to say somewhat peaceful. You know, my wife and I really thought about this pretty heavily before we really decided we were going to jump in. There's obviously moments of, oh no, what have I done? Retiring from a nice paycheck and, you know, a sure thing, so to speak. But I guess the satisfying part of it, of owning your own business. We own a couple small businesses already. And, you know, we love doing that with our other small businesses, and being able to bring this on board is such a huge concept. You know, I think it's, the excitement is there, obviously, and there's definitely nerves. I mean, there's a certain image and everything that we are trying to bring out there for the brand. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything in line with what's already been established, but bring our own character to it.
Yeah.
You know, the stress of timelines and budget and everything, obviously.
So how big is the location?
We are 10,000 square feet. So there's going to be 2 bays. So we've got the wash bay side where we're going to have 3 wash bays. And then the work bay side, we've got 5 bays where we're going to have the shop vacs and the compressed air and everything. And there's going to be 3 full service bays.
Okay.
For us. We do have room for the PPF and window tint on the wash side. So there's plenty of space there. We've got about 1,200 square feet for retail. We're going to have a lounge, a little coffee bar.
Ooh, nice.
So we got plenty of space for all that stuff. We definitely want to have that community, be able to sit around.
Yeah.
I love races. Let's watch some races together. Let's just hang out and build community.
Where in Mesa? Like if I mean, I don't know Mesa yet, but I'll be down there. But if somebody's from the area, where is it next to? Where's it by?
So it is Broadway Road and the 101.
Okay.
So it's a straight shot up to Scottsdale, straight shot down to Chandler area, close to Gilbert, but right next to Tempe on the other side of the 101 is Tempe. We're in Mesa. So it's pretty central to the East Valley. Of course, everything is so big out there that you could be 10 minutes from Scottsdale or 30 minutes from Scottsdale.
Yeah.
But it's typically, you know, you're like 10 to 15 minute drive from Scottsdale. Chandler, Gilbert's about 20 minutes.
Okay. What got you into cars and detailing?
My dad. It pretty much all goes back to him. Said he was a hot rodder in the 60s and 70s, and he was always doing oil changes and, you know, all the own maintenance on our own vehicles. So at a young age, I was out there with him underneath cars doing oil changes and all that stuff. And then he would wash and wax his cars, and just kind of followed suit. When I got my first vehicle at 16, did the same thing. It was the 86 Chevette.
All right, other side, next, wheels. You've been out here this week working with Ken to kind of get ready to open your location. So I took you on a tour of the warehouse and stuff. You're getting some equipment put in. What are you working with Ken on while you're here this week?
So this week, it's been a lot of just finalizing the equipment list, the retail orders. We're just kind of starting that. We're still brainstorming because, you know, every region is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Undercarriage sprayer, you know, it doesn't snow, so we don't have a bunch of ice and, you know, and sand.
Yeah, do you need that? Yeah.
So, I mean, just trying to talk about things like that. So it's really been doing that, getting the compressor and all the airlines lined up, the cabinets, you know, just stuff like that. And then going through the whole back end of the point of sale system, making sure that we understand how to do everything. Make a sale, do exchanges. You know,
it's a lot when it comes down to it, man. You know, like running a business, there's so much to it. I love it. That's why I love it, because there's always problems to run into and things to fix. And for me, that's, I don't know, it makes me happy to fix problems. And so you talked about a couple, I love your ideas with the bays. You know, for most people who are watching, the bays concept of taking the self-service wash and taking it up a level, right? Where you have accessibility to the professional tools and products to come into a climate-controlled facility and wash your own car. Like, there's still new ideas that we're coming up with to make this concept even better and even cooler. And I love the community vibe on it. So I know that you're doing a couple things. We just talked about a towel concierge service.
Right.
So washing the towels for the customers. I've thought about this too. I haven't really implemented it because I didn't want to do the laundry myself, but like I'm curious like how that's going to work and how the customers are going to like it, because I like that idea a lot. Like having lockers where you literally bring your stuff in and be able to store it.
Yep.
And you know, you don't have to, you know, have a bucket, bring your tools, we'll take care of it for you. What are your thoughts around that? Like, how are you going to?
We want every client, when they leave, regardless if they're washing their own vehicle or we're doing a full service for them or they're just coming in for retail, I want them to leave going, that is how service should be done.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it needs to be an elevated experience.
Yes.
And so trying to provide like a towel service, depending on your level of membership, it may be included, or it's something that you can do like a la carte with your membership.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that your towels are properly washed and dried, right? You don't want to apply a bunch of heat. You don't want to use softener and all that stuff. So I want to make sure that your towels are ready for you. So when you come back the next time, that's one less thing you have to worry about with damaging your paper.
Yeah, I love that. Products are working well. They always do. It's cheap.
Yes. The iron remover, I noticed, is not real pungent on your nose. Usually when you spray that stuff, it
It's
can
not
get you.
too bad. It's not too bad. And it works really well.
Yes.
It's, you know, you're gonna have to run into this a lot. When anybody comes into the retail store, there's a lot of decisions to make with products, right? And like, some of this stuff is redundant, like soaps and some of the wheel cleaners and stuff, and everybody has their preferences, but I always recommend G-Technic because I'm like, everything in the G-Technic line just works, and it works well. I've used a lot of it, so when customers come in and asking for advice on, well, what wheel cleaner should I buy? That kind of question to me is like, oh, there's like 30 of them.
Right.
And they all work.
Right.
Which one would I choose? That's a
Right.
hard question to answer sometimes.
And why would I choose this one over that one?
Yeah.
But you have little things. I mean, some people are going to be more, they're going to notice the odor more than others, right? So that might be a problem for you if you've got sinus issues or whatever. You might want something that is not as strong. I mean, and that's the deciding factor. It works just as well as these, or vice versa, but it's more pleasant for me to use.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the brands and the products, you know, being in this position, we get to talk to some of the owners of the brands, and you get to know them and their personalities. And after using so many, products really come down to concentration of the product, because you can have a soap and there's surfactants and everything within the soap. They can make it more concentrated to where you get more value for it, right? So you can mix, you know, an ounce to whatever and get the same amount as another product that may be watered down that you have to add 3-4 ounces to get the same one. So when I'm looking at products, I kind of look at the value.
Right.
And knowing some of the owners and their perspectives on how to treat customers or how to run their company. They're not looking to get away with anything by watering something down or trying to create more margins out of some of these products. And that's what I really have found the most impactful when it's like trying to choose a chemical. So I try to bring that factor into it. Like, hey, this soap here is a consumer version. It's really watered down.
Right.
And for the value of it, you know, you buy this gallon, you know, you're going to have to dump like a quarter of the bottle in there because it's super watered down. Where like you can buy this 16-ounce bottle where it's like a thick gel and you don't need that much putting it into a bottle. So you get much more value out of this type of product.
And the metered sprayers now too. I mean, that's something that's really in the last few years has become an important aspect of proper application of the chemical. Instead of, you know, way back in the day, you just go to town on it or glug, glug, glug with your soap. And, you know, but now they're getting conscious of that for us as consumers, not to waste our money, right? And I tend to want to go back to companies that kind of have that awareness that there's more to it than just making the margin, right?
Yeah. Come on over. This is the G-Wash. I figured we just foam this down and then spray it, because this is coated and it's Ken's car and I know he takes very good care of it. So maybe we'll foam it down and then we'll rinse it, and then we'll use that ceramic wash and see how that does.
Perfect.
I know your wife, Tiffany, is here.
Yep.
Is she going to be working in the business or a part of it?
When she can. We own a salon as well as a coffee roastery. And so when she's not at the salon or with the kids or whatever, then yeah, she'll be there helping out a little bit in retail side and stuff like that. So
serial business owner.
Yes. Yep.
That's awesome. How long have you had the salon?
So we've had her in this salon for 3 years, but she's been doing hair for about 30, but we finally decided a few years ago, right when we were doing the coffee roastery, it's like, let's just do our own thing with that as well. So moved her into her own suite.
Okay.
And so she's just self-employed, and it's been a huge blessing for her and her clients. She's got a huge client list, and they just love, how that nobody else is there. There's no noise or nothing. It's just one-on-one with her. So that's been great. But she's on board with helping out as much as she can as well.
Okay.
Obviously not doing the washing and stuff. That's more on me. But helping out, like I said, checking people out, or maybe at the espresso bar or something like that.
So the roastery, is that open to the public, or are you just roasting and you're selling the coffee?
Yes, we sell online. We sell local too. We're in some coffee shops in the East Valley. We have a few places online that sell us as well. But you can, if you're local, you can come pick it up from our house, or we can meet you somewhere.
How long have you had the roastery?
So in business, about 3 years. I've been roasting coffee for 7, 8 years.
Okay.
Started off on a little tabletop for me and a few family members and friends, and just finally got to the point where I love the minutia of just the little tweaks of things, and people were liking the coffee. So hey, why not do it and have some fun, but do it on a bigger scale.
Right. All right.
And now we can bring it into the base.
Yes. I got questions about business that I'm curious what your thoughts are, because I have several businesses in one, right? You got the Bays franchise, Car Supplies Warehouse. I have Opticle. I have the training part of it, DetailWise. It can be a lot, right? You have 3 businesses going on, starting a third. How do you manage that? Like, are you going to be at the Bays at a daily basis, or how do you manage so many things going on at once? Because I'm questioning myself sometimes. I'm like, maybe I should just focus on 1 or 2 things instead of trying to diversify myself across so many different aspects of the business.
Well, that's a great question, and it's a huge challenge. So as far as roasting, we're not a huge roastery, so it's not like I have to roast every day and I'm bagging every day. So I can roast 1 or 2 days a week and get everything done. So it's going to be about scheduling some downtime for me at the Bays, because I will be at the Bays pretty much full time. I've hired on my nephew, so he'll be able to take over for a few hours on his own if I need to go leave to do coffee related stuff. Tiffany, she is great with getting the coffee stuff together as well. Like if we got orders that need to go out, I can just let her know. She can bag and label and all that stuff. So kind of split duties, but it was a conversation that her and I had before we got into this. Look, I'm gone a lot now with the work that I was doing, but I'm going to be at the shop a lot, so we need to be prepared for that. We talk to the kids. And so, hey, why not on a late night, bring the kids in, we can eat dinner together, we can do homework together, so we still have that time. Our family is very, very important to us. We're very intentional with our kids and with our marriage. So we schedule in time for all of that. We're still trying to figure out how that's going to look once we're up and running, because right now it's one day I might be at the shop for 6 hours working, but the next day I'm there 14 hours trying to get everything ready. It just depends on what's being delivered, what needs to be installed. So it's kind of chaotic right now. So we're just managing as best as we can. But once we have set hours, it's, doing stuff like that. Hey, bring the kids in and we can spend a few hours together here. You guys can go home. I'll see you at home in just a little bit. So that's our plan right now. Subject to change. But yeah, you've got so many going on. You've got a family as well. How do you manage that?
I don't.
Right?
I don't.
Yeah.
People talk about balance and everything else. Yeah. I don't have any balance.
And we talked a little bit about that down in Missouri.
Yeah.
When we were down there, it is tough.
The harsh reality of entrepreneurship is there's times where it's going to get very, very tough.
Yes.
And if you want to survive, sometimes you have no choice to put in 100% of your energy into making this work.
Right.
And I'm in it right now.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of detail shops right now, it hasn't been a great year for the economy, for people spending a lot of money. And I think a lot of detail shops are feeling that right now. Yeah. It's almost like they're in survival mode, right? You know, and sometimes you just have to buckle down and do what you need to do to survive.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
I think having the support of your family, like I said, Tiff and I had numerous conversations about what will it look like. And I told her, like, you're going to have dinners at home without me. You're going to have to take on some more of the homework that I try to take on with the kids or whatever. We talked to the kids about it, trying to get them to understand that, I might not be there as much as I want to be for right now. Having my nephew on board helps with that too, because he can take on some of that weight for being there if I need to do something else, schoolwork or whatever, right? So having the support of your family is the biggest thing that will make us successful, because if you guys aren't doing this and you're kind of focused in the same direction, you can lift each other up in those days where I'm struggling. Like some days I need Tiff to lead because I just can't do it anymore. And some days, or most days, I need to lead and she's right there to support me. But some days, all right, babe, it's you. Yeah. Make the decision for me, please,
That is one of our top 10 sellers, bug remover. It works so well. It's tough for people to understand. I love the education of this, right? Because most people enjoy washing their cars, but they end up causing more damage. And bugs is a huge one. I did this for a long time. When I first started washing my own cars when I was 16, it's just, I get out a bug sponge and I'm scrubbing it. Yeah. And it is the worst thing that you can do for your car. Yeah. So having a chemical that dissolves like bug guts like this and makes it easier, that's the number one thing I try to teach people is like, never scrub anything. Right. There's a chemical that has been developed to remove the stuff off your paint safely, you know?
Right.
Let's let that sit for a minute and then we'll rinse it. Let's fill the bucket up with this ceramic wash. All right, ceramic G-Wash, 3 months of durability, and this is nice. There's so many different products, whether you want to spray on a product for protection or have like an additive-based soap to add that protection. This is just making our jobs easier. You can wash the car and protect it at the same time. So this says 20 mils per 10 liter. How much is 5 gallons in liters? I hate the conversions. Why can't we just all use the same, Mike?
And my phone's in there, so I can't figure it out.
Yeah, but you can also use this. You can put a little bit on the mitt too and wash it directly with that, and you're gonna get a little more concentrated. So let's guess here.
Your wrist is calibrated, right?
Yeah, I know exactly.
That's right.
And I think this is a liter of cola. So 2 liters, a 2 liter of cola, you could probably fit, okay, so 20 mils per 10 liters. Well, this is probably 5 liters in there, okay. 4 liters. So we're gonna do
that much.
Bruh. All right, let's rinse the car off. And I wanna use it on the mitt too, I think.
Just a quick note on that big bug that was splattered in about a 3-inch. I mean,
gone?
It's gone.
She gone. Mesa Mike. Mesa Mike, the coffee roasting, beauty salon, car washing. I'm curious, a lot of changes going on in the world with electric cars, AI, all this other bullshit that's going on, What are your thoughts on the future of cars? And because it does affect our industry, right? Like how, I know like a decade ago they were trying to do self-healing paint. Technology is changing at a rapid pace. Paint protection, ceramic coatings, and all this stuff. Like it's hard to keep up sometimes with the care industry and the love for cars because there is a lot of change with EVs and all this stuff. Where do you think we're headed? In either the detailing industry or the car world? Like, do you think there's gonna be flying cars in?
1980, I think they said we were gonna have flying cars by 1990. We're still waiting on that to happen. It seems everything comes around. I think, like the V12s. they're making a resurgence here all of a sudden in Aston Martin and Ferrari and all that stuff. And I think it's as a generations who grew up with a certain technology, whether it's automotive care or cars themselves, as they get older and can afford those things, they want what they saw as when they were younger. So I think that will probably change. So the younger generation now who's seeing more of the EVs and stuff, as we cycle through the resurgence of V8s and V12s, then the EVs are probably going to come and resurge again, I think.
Right.
But I think car care itself is going to, I mean, the pride of ownership, you spend a lot of money on your vehicle. I don't see that going away. As far as where the technology is going, man, look, just in the last 3 years, the differences in ceramic coatings and all the nano coatings and just, I mean, everything. It's so, I honestly can't answer that.
Well,
I don't think it's going away.
And I think a lot of the manual labor type of stuff, like some of it is being replaced by, you know, like robots, machine learning, AI, and stuff like that. You know, like you see a lot of like almost like art stuff, marketing stuff, like designing and stuff that can be automated with AI and stuff like that. But a lot of this stuff is not quite there yet as far as like being replaced labor-wise, because this is just such a manual. And I think a lot of people do this for the love. Like, this is enjoyable. I don't know why.
It's meditative.
Why do we like washing cars? I mean, and I think more people are getting into it and like actually seeing the satisfaction. Like, this is actually really nice. It's satisfying to do this.
Well, especially as we grow more and more into the instant gratification with, you know, video shorts and everything else, seeing that that's one thing I love about polishing. That second pass, all of a sudden that paint just starts glowing. Right? Even for myself, I'm like, this is why I do it.
Right.
But I think it's meditative. You can kind of disconnect to a degree. You can put your earbuds in. You can focus, but not have to focus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But also, that's one of the reasons why I love the Bays concept. I want to bring that Saturday morning, dad's washing the car, bring your kids, make memories that, you know, you can pass down. So
we have a father and his 3 kids, younger kids, come in here every Saturday.
Nice.
And he thanks me every time. And that's what makes this special for me. Like, I mean, there's Saturdays I come in because I just want to see them. But that's his time with his kids.
Right.
Every single week, consistently, they come in here, and the kids love using the pressure washer and cleaning the wheels and putting gloves on and drying the car. And that's special. I mean, that alone gives me the satisfaction, like building something where somebody can come here and enjoy it with their kids. I mean, that is such a huge thing.
Memories that you last a lot. I mean, you know, my dad's passed away, but I still have those memories. As soon as I start thinking about washing a car, those memories are inevitably going to pop up, right? And so we carry that with us, and then we want to give that to our kids as well. So
I'm going to rinse this because I don't think we should be letting this dry.
All right, so Jason, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What got you into this, and what is the drive that keeps you, what reignites your passion all the time?
Ooh. Yeah. Well, I got into it, you know, working at a car wash. So I kind of stumbled into maintaining cars through a job and just really enjoyed it. And I started a mobile detailing business in Atlanta. When I started my business, it was one of those things where it was an aha moment. It was one of very few aha moments that I've had in my life where I'm like, I really like doing this and I want to start a business doing this. I was literally like, couldn't sleep for almost 3 days when I told myself I was going to start a mobile detailing business because I couldn't stop thinking about it, like dreaming about it, all the things I could do and what do I want it to look like. That passion, almost like, you know, like, it is probably bad to compare it to, but like drugs. I mean, it was that strong of an urge and something that is just burned into my memory. I think about it all the time on how excited I was and how much I felt like I finally found something in my life that I could gravitate towards. Because, you know, being a young kid, you never really know what you want to do. You feel like you're floating in life a little bit. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I was in a band at the time, but I found this and it was just like, I love this. I want to do this. I want to do more of this. I can't stop thinking about this. That, throughout the years, has never really gone away. Like, it's always been there. Like, I enjoy washing cars. I enjoy products. I enjoy this. Like, life is tough sometimes, right? You're going to go through difficult situations, and there's times where you're like, am I doing the right thing? You know, let's face it, we're, you know, a lot of detailers aren't in this industry to get rich, right? It's just, it's a passion thing that you find something that you enjoy doing, and then you have a fulfilled life. Because I've talked to so many people that have come through our business classes, have worked corporate jobs their entire life, and are just like, I regret it.
Right.
I played the politics games. I had to bite my tongue. I did something I didn't like doing. They had the golden handcuffs, made great money. They have a life that they have to keep up with, you know, and they just regret it.
Yeah.
And I look at that and I take that to heart, because I'm like, I found something that I love doing, you know. I love business too, and I want to grow this as much as possible. But I'm not rich, but I enjoy every day, even though there is tough days to go through. There is tough times, you know, with dealing with everything that comes along with entrepreneurship, business, people, employees, problems, and all that stuff. That stuff is, you're always gonna have problems, but still, the root core of it is still taking care of cars, making the customers happy, and doing something that I really, really love enjoying.
Well, there's different definitions of wealth too.
Yes.
And something I've learned the last few years too is if I can dictate how I spend my time, if I can focus more on my family and doing those things,
Yeah.
I'm a wealthy man, right? And
Right,
so
yeah.
it doesn't all come down to just the greenback.
Sure.
You know, and I definitely understand I mean, I love cars. I remember talking early on to Ken about this when I first called him, like,
Yeah.
even he says, like, it's infectious for you.
Try that.
It is. Oh yeah. And I have that. And when I came across this concept, man, I was just almost giddy. I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
Because I was up at the time, about 20 years at my job. And well, November 23, I had 2 back surgeries. And before that, I started getting this itch again. It's like, I think I can do mobile detailing, but how can I physically do it every day to provide for my family? So I was struggling with that. I was starting to do cars on the side again and stuff, you know. Then I had my surgeries. It took some recovery time, but then I came across the video of Ken and Ivan, and it was that aha moment. There it is.
Yes.
It's, you know, I don't have to do this every day because physically I've got a short shelf life at this point.
Yeah.
But there's other income streams within it, and it's all stuff I'm very passionate about. The retail side, the training. I love doing training classes.
Yes. The education's huge.
It just hit all the boxes for me. Checked them all off. And
Well,
I told my wife, we watched the video. The next day I called Ken. Here we are. So it's been about 10 months.
yeah.
So
Well, I got to tell you, man, because this is a concept that obviously Ken has had for a long time, that I've been doing for several years as well. And to have you and Jeremy a part of it and have your excitement brought to the team, like, we want to make this concept, which is, I think, a much better concept and improvement on a normal detail shop and the self-serve place, right? The retail store, the self-serve, and the full service together. I keep on telling you, there's a synergy that happens when customers become a part of something.
Yes.
Because you can come in here, use our equipment, use our bays, and you are a part of the business. You see all the full service stuff going around. And it works well because a lot of the individuals, you'll start to notice that most of the people that come into the bays are business professionals that work corporate jobs that need something on the weekends to, you know, their stress relief.
Yep.
And they can
Yep.
come in here and they have nice cars. They love to maintain them, wash them and stuff. But also on the full service side, they may not be ready to do a full polish, full coating,
Right.
you know, PPF. They want that, some of the protection. So, I mean, it just, the entire concept fits really well together. And I love that we are able to become a team, because doing things in life, you know, it's about making memories with other people.
Yes.
And this whole Bays family, it feels like a family, and we're here to help each other. And I can't wait for you to open up your store and for this to continue to grow. And we are going to learn. And I'm thankful for the first couple franchisees, because you came on board knowing that we're just starting.
Right.
And you're going to be a bigger part of the bigger picture by helping us develop this concept and figure out what is working, how do we make it better, how do we improve it for other people to come in, so we can give them the playbook of, this is exactly how you do it, you know, because that's the scary part of starting your own business.
Yeah.
You're like, well, how much should I charge, or what do I need, or how big should the space be? Like you have that support team here to do it. And I'm just so excited about it. And that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
The thought of guys like you and Jeremy coming into this and bringing a whole new dynamic into this business and just sharing that and having that experience. Because I want everybody to have the experience of owning your own business and creating financial freedoms and the freedom of choice to be able to do what you want and do something that you love and make money doing a passion.
Well, we all seem to be pretty like-minded in so many ways, and that's one of the things that's been so great, getting to know Jeremy and Ken and you. I mean, it's easy to get along with people when there are so many similarities.
Yeah.
And just the passion. That's the one thing, like, you know, with Ken and Jeremy, every time I talk to them, I mean, there's this energy when we're on our calls and, you know, we're strategizing, we're trying to figure it all out. But that was one of the things that I liked being early in on the franchise, is helping to develop those SOPs and everything. Coming from a defense manufacturing world, I liked writing those processes, and I was able to do a lot to build that company up that I worked for so long, and obviously build a good team around me, but I enjoyed building it, you know? And then Ken and I were talking last night at dinner. We all went out, and sometimes you do have to stop and appreciate what you built. You just can't keep going all the time. You do have to stop and spell at least one rose. You know?
That's the hardest part for me. I think generally business owners too are kind of built to like, what's next? You get to that goal, you build that goal, and you're like, okay, cool, what's next?
You know how much of my life I went that way? And I tell this story a lot, and because I'm a huge motorcycle rider, I love long distance riding. And I would always be focused on that first stop. But then when I'm at the first stop, all I can think about is the second stop, and I'm completely missing everything that's going on here. You know, and it's just that way. And then I get back from a trip and I go, well, it was kind of boring. I didn't, you know, once, you know, about 8 years ago or so, I decided I've got to start learning how to be more present.
Yeah, it's hard.
But it's like working out, or it's anything else, it's muscle memory. So you do it a little bit, and all of a sudden it becomes a little bit easier to realize, hey, I'm thinking about something else, but my kids need me, or whatever, right? So I found that I can appreciate things a lot more if I just take 5 minutes of just being present.
How do you do that? Like, because that's literally one of the things that I'm trying to do more in my life, because most of the time I'm thinking about the future. Like, what do I need to do today to set myself up for the future? I'm not thinking about the now. So do you take a time out?
There's different parts of the day, like my morning routines and stuff that I do, and then I focus on the business stuff. But it's really, if I'm in that situation, this weekend we had, you know, a camp. I was a camp leader for the kids at our church. And I just shut everything else off. It was nice not to have a phone all the time. And like, I'm just gonna be present with my son and these other 7 kids for a weekend. And that's all it is. It's just one weekend. I can worry about the business on Sunday night when I get home, right? So it's really just, at first it's very, very mechanical of, I have to stop thinking about this stuff, because the thoughts are gonna come in. They just keep coming, right? You're aware of that. You're like, you're doing this, we're talking, but you're still thinking about, okay, tomorrow I've got to do this. Next week, hey, we're trying to launch this product. That will take care of itself in time. But for right now, let's just worry about the conversation in the car. And it's a forced thing, but it's a muscle memory. It does get easier, or at least I found it gets a little bit easier. There's days I'm better at it than others. So, you know.
This is a huge lesson. I just want to like absorb this, because it's almost an addiction when you come into a business. Like, I think about my business all the time. I noticed that, I mean, I was with my wife on Sunday, like, and I'm walking around, pacing around the house. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. Like, because I'm just thinking about business, and you know, I'm not living in the moment, or what. It's a challenge a lot of entrepreneurs face, I think.
And it creeps into your sleep and your dreams. I remember early on, I texted Jeremy and Ken, said, do you know how many car wash systems I repaired overnight in my dreams? You know, it's just like, that's what I was doing, maintenance and all this stuff on systems that I haven't even bought yet. But, you know, so it is hard because it does intrude everywhere. But where I'm able to, especially when it's the most appropriate time, I need to focus on this, because this will take care of itself. Tomorrow's going to happen regardless. Right? And there's going to be people along the way that are going to be there to help me and stuff. But right now, this is what's the most important thing.
That's awesome.
So,
all right, we have 2 more products to test. So let's dry this thing. We'll get somebody on the blower and the other person will use a towel, and then 2 more products to test.
okay.
I'm excited to test these ones.
So we added some protection
Yes.
while we were washing. What do you recommend in this line that would work well as like a drying lubricant?
Oh, I'm using it right now. The quick detailer.
Yep.
So one thing, we talked a little too long on this side, and so with W3, you kind of have to move quickly. You can't let it dry. So I'm actually just using this quick detailer right now just to remove some of the spotting from the W3, and that works really well. So yeah, this is just the G-Technic quick detailer.
You can just do kind of a quick mist over it, and then if you're just using a drying towel only, it's a great lubricant,
So it's funny, quick detailers have been around for a long time. Quick detailers turned into a waterless wash. You know, so a lot of the waterless washes are just reformulated quick detailers and kind of renamed. You know, so quick detailer's a great product to be able to do a lot of this. So when is the actual grand opening happening? Because we'll get this video out pretty quick, I think.
So as of yesterday, you know, we've had some delays. So I was shooting for the first weekend of September.
Yeah.
That was adding a lot of stress, and just the way some other things have fallen with leaving the other company.
Yeah.
We decided yesterday that October 4th, that Saturday is going to be our grand opening, the whole weekend, but that Saturday is really, we're going to be doing most of the giveaways and the demos and stuff like that. So right now it's at October 4th. We still think probably the second weekend in September, we're gonna have a soft open.
Okay.
We might invite some detailers in and just kind of, you know, sort out all the kinks, make sure everything's working good, and then launch hard on October. We're starting to roll out more and more content, you know, trying to build that energy. We're doing car shows. I've got a great setup for going to car shows with a lot of information, a video so people can see really what the Bays is, because a lot of people don't really understand the concept.
Right, yeah. They're like, what?
I had one guy come in and go, so I bring my car, but I use your stuff to wash my own vehicle? I'm like, yep, or we can do it for you. You know, so they don't always understand that.
We'll leave more information in the description about the Mesa grand opening too. I'm sure we'll have it on the website as well.
Yep, and obviously Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff.
All that good stuff.
Gotta have all
in
that
the description.
Stuff.
All right, 2 products. I want to test out these products and kind of get your thoughts on it. These are 2 different tire dressings. So G-Technic has T1, which is a gel, longer lasting tire dressing. So no sling, water repellent type of dressing. And then they have T2, which is biodegradable, water-based type dressing, and more traditional liquid type. So you get your gel and your liquid. I'd like to do, you know, one on each tire. So you do one on one side with 2 different ones, and I'll do ones, and kind of just give our thoughts on it and then the different types.
Okay.
I'll grab
and what's your preferred method of application?
Yeah.
There's 18,000 different applicators anymore, and
there is. I'm gonna go find 2 clean ones.
Okay.
So you're gonna go first. Let's use T1, the durable tire gel on the front, and then we'll use T2 on the back.
Okay.
So I'll have you go first on both the wheels and get your thoughts.
Even for a gel, it seems to, doesn't just sit on the top, it soaks in pretty well.
Yeah.
Before I use too much, we'll see how we go.
It's like a jelly.
I like that it's not real thick. I've had some, the thick gel where it's almost stringy, like when you pull off of it, it just...
Yeah, it looks like it goes on pretty smooth.
Yeah, it goes on really smooth, and it's not, when I was younger, I wanted it to be super glossy.
Yeah.
Now I just want it to be nice and black, right? And just, you know, so I like that, let that soak in and dry a little bit, but it applies really easy.
Now try the T2 on the back.
Some of them you have to put in half the bottle to get 2 inches on your tire. You're just scrubbing, and it doesn't seem like it actually attaches or, you know, adheres to the tire.
Still kind of gel-like.
Yeah, not super runny. That spreads really well.
That one goes a lot farther with a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I think I put a little bit too much on there. We'll let them sit for a couple minutes and wipe off the excess. I like that. That goes on very well.
All right, my turn. T1. Oh, it's like honey. Goes on thick. That's nice. That seems like thicker. That seems like the more glazed type
Yep.
of one. It almost looks like glaze too. All right, T2. Little bit thinner, but still kind of gel consistency. Oh, that goes on much smoother.
Yeah, it spreads real nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one where you really want to make sure you wipe off the excess so
Yeah.
you don't get no sling, because you can see it's starting to stick in the, ooh, but I kind of like this one better.
Yeah. And I think that will last longer because you don't have to use as much.
Yeah, that's for sure. You're going to get a lot more out of it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll let it dry for 5 minutes and we'll get some after shots, but they both look extremely well. I mean, some tire shines that I use, and I know it depends on the different tires you use and how well you clean it and everything, but some of it seems to be splotchy.
Yep. Yeah.
And I hate splotchy
Yep.
tire dressing. You know, I'm like you, where I kind of like the natural, kind of more of a matte finish. You know, it does look better than no tire shine.
Right.
It gives that look, but yeah, I don't like the glazed donut either, but wipe it down and like to have that nice natural look. So we'll let these sit for a couple minutes and then wipe them down.
Well, that's looking really good too.
They both look good.
Mm-hmm.
T2 is just very nice. That is the nice look.
And you can reapply, it says after 10 minutes too. So if you want to
Oh, yeah.
add a little bit more, that definitely has more of a shine to it.
More of a shine, but this one is going to be more durable too,
Right.
which will be a little more water resistant than the T1. I appreciate you coming out here.
No.
I
Good to be here.
appreciate the conversation. I'm excited for you to open up your store. Make sure you go subscribe, check out, go to your all your social medias. We'll have them in the description below. Keep up with Mason Mike and the new shop and the grand opening. Hope to see some of you there. I'll be out there hopefully too.
Yep.
Celebrating with you, man. Thank you so much.
Great to be part of the family.
Excited for ya.
Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Later.